think.
Who cares?
Well, Nathan wanted to cover Invisible Man there, so
Yeah.
that is a movie I give 4.5 stars.
Oh, yeah.
So
It
what
is
was your problem with it?
I don't have a
so
problem
good.
with that.
So what was your problem with it? You gave it 4.5 stars.
My problem was there was a few pacing issues. That was about it.
Are you
But,
mad? Are you mad? Pacing issues.
Yeah,
Well,
there was a bit. There was a wee bit in the middle where I just felt it started dragging a wee bit,
where?
and I was like, okay, and then it eventually picked up again.
So the only issue you had is a few pacing
Yeah.
things.
Like,
Okay, so out of 100, where would you give it?
Out of 100, out of 100.
he's trying to calculate this. What's 4.5 and 5? What percentage is that?
90. 90.
What
90.
what are those 10 points that you took away from it?
Well, from 9 to 9.5, it was simple. In the middle, it started dragging a wee bit, and I started feeling time. I basically started looking at the time to see, because the movie's not even that long, but there was a bit of.
That's how I felt in the middle of Endgame.
So,
Yeah, but,
Aaron,
there was
Aaron, realistically, then you've given it 95%. 95 out of 100, because you can't just say that I'm taking away 5
What's
just
the other
because
5%?
no movie ever gets 100.
No, you
take
start
it
at
away
100
from
and you
100.
work your way down.
Yeah,
because there's always room for improvement. That's basically why.
but that you don't
Why?
take that. Like you take it away from, let's say, a full 5-star, and then you're like, right, so half a star for.
Let's not argue about my rating system. It's how I do things.
Your rating system is inconsistent and garbage.
Yeah,
It is.
it is very
It is.
inconsistent.
It's like, oh, I took half a star away. It's 4 stars. It's like, so where's the rest?
So
there's always room for
Honestly,
improvement.
Yeah,
how
so
I
it's
feel
like
is-
wait.
I feel like
You
if
might
I
as
give
well.
it 5 stars. I feel like I gave it too much.
No. You would never
Don't
give it 5
use
stars.
stars. It's shit.
Yeah, but
Like,
you'd
why
never
do you
give it
use
100%, like, or 100, like, out of 100. Every time you've got to criticize a movie, that's when you take points away from 5 stars. Or from 100. So realistically, you would be, like, your point system would be out of 4.5 for every movie.
Maybe. But yeah, 4.5. I give this
See, he's
simply
not.
because it dragged in the middle.
I disagree. I feel like, and I know the middle bit what you're talking about. I feel like if the middle wasn't dragged out enough, it wouldn't seem like it was being done over a certain period of time.
You can do Passage of Time correctly without it feeling
They did.
dragged
No,
out.
they did. For me, they did. It was fine. I felt like it was, let's say, for example, 2 months down the line. Do you know what I mean? I felt like that. It didn't drag out. It didn't feel it didn't drag out for me. I felt like if they had done it any quicker, I wouldn't have felt like it fit.
Should stop here about this movie then, because you're leaning into just spoiling things.
No, I'm not.
All I can say is it's super, super intense.
Yes.
Like, super intense.
Yes. So like,
It's
No,
super
what I
intense.
gathered is it drags
get
on for
invested
2
in-
months.
it doesn't.
It's really intense.
No. That 2 months was literally an example. That's not like, and it doesn't drag on for 2 months. But what I'm saying is, let's say for example, in the movie, if 2 months passed, it did feel like that, but there was still action and things going on to cover that time. But it made it feel like it was that amount of time. So to me, it fit right. The movie length was perfect. It didn't feel like it was dragging. It had me on the edge of my seat every time. Like, anytime you knew something was coming, like, I was there, like kind of like looking like, what's going on? What's going to happen next kind of thing. Like, it didn't feel like it dragged.
Well, fair enough. And there was another wee thing, like, I just remembered there. In the movie, there's a simple panning shot where, the camera starts and it just starts panning around. They use that shot maybe one too many times. Where it just started as like because you really shouldn't be thinking about this. They're using the same kind of shot over and over again. Like so that was a noticeable thing that sort of took me out of it a wee bit. Where I just started, instead of being invested in the movie, I started thinking, okay, there they go using that shot again. Okay, fair enough. But I did think the movie was fairly intense. The main character, you can get invested in her story. It's very, 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 very well acted.
Yeah, the acting for that character was well done. I'll agree with that. But what I won't agree with is that panning shot either. I never thought of that. Like it never came. Like it was never a thought in my head.
Yeah.
When they did do it, I know what scene you're specifically talking about. We can talk.
when they
We
used
can, we
to-
can talk about it because we can talk about this scene because it's not a major point, but it's the one when she's in the bedroom.
Yeah, they used it 3 minutes into the movie. I think they used that panning shot 4 times throughout the movie. The first 2 times, I thought, okay, that's great. That's adding some tension. The third time, I felt like, I think they're doing that a little too much. I think they're relying on that kind of shot a bit much here. And then I think they did it again.
But that's like saying.
Can't remember.
But it's like saying. Right, that's like going every time, Alex. They cut to a different scene, man. I was just like, they're using that shot every goddamn time. No, do you know what I mean? Like it's no, like how I feel is they used it in the first like opening scene, right? I'm nearly sure it was the opening scene to it. They used
it in the opening scene.
Yeah, and that kind of signified because did something weird happen?
No, they did it for no reason. It was just there to make you paranoid about something happening.
Yeah. So it was there to give right. Okay, so I feel because
they did it to get into your head.
Yeah. So I feel like because they done it to get into your head, that every other time that they do it in the movie, then it was to get into your head. But if they did use it 3 or 4 times,
I suppose if you think about them using that shot to stick with a particular theme, I suppose you can think about it that way. But I just, for me, it didn't work because I noticed it. I noticed that they were recycling that same. Well, they weren't recycling the same shot, but they were using the same technique over and over again, relying on it to add tension.
No, I like it's not that I didn't acknowledge it or didn't notice it or that it was put in there well that I couldn't see it happening. I seen it happening. I remember when it happened in certain scenes. Totally understand that. But I feel like in that moment when you seen that happening, you were like, something's going fucking down. Someone's getting killed. Where is he? And you were like looking at the screen to be like, can I see him, like kind of thing. And it was like that was me anyway. I was like kind of like squinting anytime it done that it done that like pan. Like I was looking to try and spot him and try and see if like they didn't edit it properly or something, you know, and just maybe catch a glimpse of him. But no, to me, I just was like every time they used that pan, it was like, right, something is about to go down.
Yeah, and like I'm not saying they weren't done badly. I'm saying like the shot was done really well, but it was just noticeable that they were using that shot, and it took me out of it. Yeah. So like it just stopped me from thinking about what was going on, and started making me think about them using that shot. Like I shouldn't be thinking about the technical aspects of this movie as I'm invested in it. So it took me out of it in that area. But there was a lot of really, really cool camera shots in this movie. Like it was a really, really cool camera shot. And they had a one-shot sequence that I thought was pretty fucking cool as well. I'm a sucker for one-shot sequences, especially when they don't use them because there's only one-shot sequence in this entire movie. And it's fucking great. It's damn great.
Which part is it?
It's a scene near the end, I think. It's a fight scene. Anyway,
is it the one in the hall?
Yeah,
not the hall of a house, not the hall of a house, but a different hall.
No, Yeah, it's a different Hall.
Yeah,
It's funny because the Daredevil sort of set the standard for the one-shot hallway sequence.
Yeah.
They build on that in this movie, and they add to some of the best hallway one-shot sequences. It's pretty good. But yeah, Invisible Man is probably my favorite movie of the year so far, for sure.
I would find it hard to pick between Invisible Man and Extraction. Just because they're two different movies.
That's an easy pick for me.
They're two different movies.
A lot of twists as well. I didn't see coming.
There was like they're two different movies, but each of them or both of them, sorry, have their own different like effect on me. So like Extraction's got that like heartwarming effect. Like I was kind of like, yeah, like that was really nice kind of thing, and An Invisible Man for me was a movie that was well put together. Like really well put together, from start to end. Like there was, like, how do I explain it without going into it?
It's hard.
So yeah, so the end of it is so like it's so good, and you just feel, like you've completed such a big achievement in your life when watching it. Is that the right way to put it? Like it satisfies you. It satisfies you so much. That's it. That's what I'm trying to say.
There's just one really horrifying scene in the movie, and it made me feel sick to my stomach. It was horrifying, not because it was gory or anything, just because it was so shocking and I didn't see it coming. And I felt what the main character was feeling, and
can we?
It shook. As the young ones say today, it shook me. I was shook to my core.
Is it, without obviously without, we're not going to go into it because Alex would definitely recommend this movie and Extraction out of the whole list. But
definitely check them out.
In talking about that scene that shocked you, am I right in saying that it is the meal scene? Yes, that is a very good scene. That is spot on.
That was so good.
Yeah,
so
it
good.
was really good. I'll
Alex, with everything me and Nathan just said there, I have to ask you: are you sold on seeing this movie based off what me and Nathan were saying there, and seeing how excited Nathan just got? well, realizing what scene I was talking about there.
Yeah, I creamed myself.
Yeah, we saw. It was quite disturbing. Better put that out there.
Sorry, it's under the table.
Yeah, sort of, I guess. Bumps it up in the list.
Which,
over some